So, dear Dharma friends, when we practice meditation, our main purpose is becoming very clear within ourselves. So, you have to remember this samsaric journey happening because of our own misunderstanding. Regarding what? Regarding our own self. Even though conventionally we use this name as self, in the eternal truth, there is no such a thing called self. This everything always moving and changing and depending according to necessary conditions, things in that moment. But it is very difficult to observe the observer. It is very difficult to recognize the subject as it is, how it change. Because we most of time follow the objects and we addicted to have a very we addicted to settle down with the solid consciousness, because this all the material things that we grab and things around us and little by little teach us to hold it to things. And from childhood to now we are more with this body, more addicted to maintain the patterns and the solid things. So mentally it is very difficult for us to now understand how this everything liquid. If you look very carefully, even though this all the solid things exist like this, in the deeper level, this everything solid. So that's why when you can see this, when an earthquake happen. So when an earthquake happen, this all the solid things become liquid. So the inside us, this consciousness also the same, that even though we build up a solid understanding or the solid consciousness, there is nothing solid. So to experience that, you have to have a method. So otherwise that it never going to be easy. So this method is the meditation, cultivating and developing your mind. So the cultivating means here expanding its capacity and getting to its original nature, connecting to its true nature, not adding or mixing or not kind of like transforming it to something else. So then you always have to be very clear with the technique, whatever you practice. Is it try to take the your true original nature from away from you, or it that whatever the meditation technique try to develop that nature inside you? So you have to look into that. So when it come to this human body, just be very clear, there is no hidden magic here. When it come to this human body, the very first thing we have to understand, you experience the world because of this body, and the world become the world because of you. When there is no you, the world not going to become the world like this. So how this world became like this? Because of the humans. And look that there are many other planets and people keep looking a human life. In case if you find a very tiny that midget or the human life in somewhere in this any other universe, then you start to tell it's as a planet, so it has a world, and then you become so happy to find another way to connect with that. So one way, the world itself, our human life. When there is no human life, there is no world to experience. So then you have to understand that this all the human life and has the same kind of nature. So get into that. Rather than looking outside, we have to look inside. When it comes to this head to toes human body, the most important thing is our breathing. Why? Because your life happening because of the breathing. So that's why you observe the breathing. Once you recognize the very nature of the breathing, behavior of the breathing, it will naturally help you to understand the nature of the body, nature of the mind, nature of the feelings, nature of the sensation. And once you recognize the very nature of yourself, your own body, naturally it light your wisdom to recognize the very nature of the others, the other people around you, the very people living in this very moment. Not only that, that it doesn't matter how long these human civilizations, the naturally you get access to this entire human civilizations, and you start to recognize when you hear a human being, you recognize the very nature of that human being. Even it doesn't matter whatever that the human being going to be in the future, millions years after, if there is a human being going to be in this planet, and then your mind naturally going to recognize the very nature of it. Just recognize. Be very clear. Slow down and listen. Listen this very carefully. If you listen this, if you get this in a right way, if you really understand what I mean, and you going to understand something. It's like you go through the rabbit hole and enter to the universe. So once you recognize your breathing, and that recognition will understand you the very nature of your body. Once you recognize the very nature of your body, it will help you to understand your husband, wife, children, your parents, and your family members, or the people around you. Once you understand that, it will help you understand the entire civilization that is happening in this very moment. It doesn't matter whatever the country. Once you hear the human being, naturally you know what is the nature of it. And then it is not today, whatever the people used to live in this world in the past, and whoever going to be in the future, this all you recognize the very nature of the human mind. And then not only that, if you hear any living beings, any human beings in this entire universe, where anywhere in a planet, if you hear somebody going to be as a human being, naturally your mind going to recognize the very nature of that human being. When the day comes for you to recognize that, you completely become fully satisfied with this human moment. Anymore, you have no desire to become, because mind completely satisfied, 100%, it satisfied through the understanding. You need only one breath to understand. Why? Because that very nature of the one breath has the entire universal human being nature. So that is why little by little, you have to get into that and fully aware, that fully concentrate and understand the very nature of the one breath. When the day comes for you to get into that, it's like you came out of the rabbit hole. So it need practice, and it is just, you cannot get through just intellectual understanding. So that's why it take the process to go through this, because you have to self experience. That self experience make you self satisfied. When the deeply, when you become complete and satisfied yourself, that satisfaction itself take you out from the desire. Because the desire is the creator, desire is the keep us pushing forward. How the desire arise, how the will arise? Because of the self-centered mind. So why that self-centered mind arise? Because we didn't understand how this is happening. So we believe there is something, there is something, there is something. Of course there is something. That something also change. That's the thing. But if you don't see what is that behind this all the body, behind this all the mind, behind what is this behind this all happening, how are you going to recognize it change or not? So that's why little by little, you have to slowly get into that. And for this, you need to study. Where the through study, through practice, take you to different steps. One is when you really understand something, you know what is happening? You naturally become calm and relax deeper inside you. So why? Because the real understanding, the real dharma, when you recognize that, it make you satisfied, and at the same time it take you out from the doubt. Once you don't have the doubt inside, you're not going to question anything. You're not going to have any kind of unsatisfaction deeply. So it is a naturally happening. So if you try to be happy without understanding, without allowing it to happen, it never going to happen. That is the struggle in the world. People try to become happy without understanding anything. It is very difficult. Even you achieve to that moment, it's not going to happen. So then the very first thing, try to take out the doubt from you. That is the truth. That's the power of the truth. Because when you touch the truth, naturally mind detach the doubt. So when the doubt go away, the arrogant naturally settle down. Then you're not going to become any kind of the very tough, dangerous that person. So naturally you become relaxed, calm, because that is the behavior of the Dharma. So there was a story called Uddalaka. So it is Uddalaka is a kind of like a rishi used to live in India long time ago. And Uddalaka's father and thought one day to teach him. So the father started to taught him certain things, but the later father understood Uddalaka can learn a lot of things and then need to send it to his teacher. So then the father sent the Uddalaka to his teacher, and the Uddalaka used to live with the teacher and study. And he studied everything, then he mastered all the skills. And then he came back after few years. Now Uddalaka is young boy. And the father observed, the Uddalaka, even though he learned, he masters this everything, the Uddalaka was kind of like a very arrogant person, very tough and very rough. The way he do things, the way he move, and that he always busy. So then the father knew the whatever that he, even though he mastered all the skills, something missing. Then the father came to Uddalaka and asked, did you learn really everything? And then according to father's knowledge and went through certain kind of questioning, and then father knew that he learned a lot of things. And the Uddalaka told, yes, I learned everything. Then the father asked, are you sure that your teacher didn't tell you anything? No, my teacher gave me everything. Then the father told to Uddalaka, even though you learn that everything, you didn't touch the truth. That's why this all happening. So dear friends, that whatever you learn, remember, if you didn't get into the truth, you're not going to understand, you're not going to get the right benefit out of it. So today, because of the way that we study, that regarding everything, we just go in the surface level. Even it is come with the religion also the same. We it is very difficult for us to get into the truth. So then what the father did to Dalaka, and the father start to tell to Dalaka, take a lump of clay, and so whatever the nature you understand out of this lump of clay, and you can create any pot, or you can create any kind of material out of this clay, but still that everything come out of the clay. So once you recognize the very nature of this lump of clay, you recognize the very nature of this entire universal clay. So the Uddalaka start to think about it. Because the Uddalaka, this young boy, used to follow these material things and the patterns, the methods. And that is how these patterns and method from the ancient time today came to science and technology. So today, if you go deeper, what is the science and technology means? That methods, that the methods and the patterns they create to this so far. So in the deeper level of science and technology also they have the same thing. So the Uddalaka start to get into that. And then the father asked from the Uddalaka, can you see the waves and the ocean the same? The clay and this entire universe the same. So whatever the ornaments you make out of the gold, and sometimes when you see the ornament, you forget the very nature of the gold. The Uddalaka start to think. And not only that, then one day the father took him to a under banyan tree. It's like a bodhi tree. So then took a banyan seed and told Uddalaka, break it. And Uddalaka break it. And then there were another little tiny seeds. And then the father told, break it. And the Uddalaka break it. And then asked, what you see? And then the Uddalaka told, nothing. And father told, that is the mistake you have. Because your eye used to go with these patterns and the methods, and you didn't see behind this pattern what is happening. Because that nothingness is create this banyan tree. That is the day Uddalaka understood the very nature of the behavior and the very nature of the mind. So you see the body, and you see this all the world, and if you break down this everything, you see nothing. And ourselves the same. If you cut down this body to piece by piece, you don't see anything finally. But how the becoming happening again and again? From where this coming from? This very nature inherent inside us. But as the way you understand the lump of the clay, the very nature, it giving access to understand the entire universal clay. As the way you understand the very nature of the banyan seed, that you start to understand the very nature of the entire forest of the banyan trees. So how you can get into this nothingness? So that is the very first thing. So get into that nothingness is the very first thing. The whatever you learn, remember, you have to have a discipline. That's why in the ancient time, the whatever you learn, the once you fulfill the your study, it should uplift your discipline. It called vidya dadati vinaya. So if there is no discipline, whatever you understand, it not complete. So that is what the Uddalaka's father saw, because the child is so arrogant and no discipline. So today the parents, today the young people, and today children, they learn, study, they take good marks, they go to good universities. In the world there was no any other time that we have all the good universities and studies and but what they missing? They don't get the discipline out of that study. So before you reach to the wisdom, remember, start to get into well discipline with your own eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, mind. Because you're going to have a journey from this body to unseen body. So it's like you're going a pilgrimage. You're going a picnic. So at home, if you're trying to go to a Everest mountain, climbing a mountain, and if you go to a pilgrimage, so the very first thing at home, what you do, you get prepared for that. So the same thing with in day-to-day life. Once you want to attain to this knowingly to the unknown, so very first thing, remember to get ready with your physical body. And how? Be disciplined. So once you become disciplined, what will happen? That discipline itself take you to a path. The discipline itself make your journey. Once you find the path, your journey become more clear. So little by little, you start to move forward. And that the very next thing you start to see. Remember this. When your journey is right, the next thing you start to see, if you are in the right discipline, the very next thing you're going to see, you start to see what to give up, what to let go, what to release. If you cannot recognize what to let go, from what kind of situation you have to come out, what kind of people you have to let go, this means there is still you need a certain study practice. Because when the day come for you to your the journey is completing with the study, with the discipline, naturally it tells you, I have to come out of this, I have to let go this, I no need to accept this, I have to say no to this. That is called vairagya. So it is not, you don't see this in the ordinary lifestyle. So the vairagya is arising, that means say no to things, is once you become very clear with the path. So look, we are so accepting everything. Very, very difficult for us to say no. Why? Because we don't develop that deeper study, and it doesn't take us to discipline. That discipline don't keep us in the path. If you are in the path, it's like traveling on a freeways. If you get into the right freeway, how many exit you get? You're not going to go. So the vairagya is like that. You're not going to accept everything. You become disciplined. That doesn't mean you're not going to resist with, but you become very clear with that. So that is where your path become more clear, and that is where you're going to get the result. So remember, in day-to-day life, that once how you can get into this nothingness, there is something inside you. Even this physical body disappeared, again it has power to come back. So you have to catch that. How you can catch it? The very first thing, start to observe this body and be disciplined with this body. Don't feed everything, don't look everything, don't hear everything, don't smell everything, don't associate anybody, and don't think anything. No, be disciplined. And that discipline slowly will take you out from the doubt. And not only that, it will show you what to let go, what to throw away, what to unplug, what kind of people to drop on the way. You have to do it. Look at the Prince Siddhartha. He left entire the palace and the wife and the children and then everybody, the country, everything. Once he become very clear and you recognize what let go yourself. Otherwise, if you cannot recognize this, you suffering, see, you become unhappy. Why you become unhappy? Because the things around you, whatever you have. So why you cannot let go that? That is the question you have to ask yourself. You see from where the suffering come. You know what is the disturb, and still you are suffering. Not another planet, aliens come and try to make you unhappy. No, everything around you. But the thing is, why you cannot throw it away? If you, without understanding, without discipline, without wisdom, if you try to throw it away or if you try to escape, still that going to happen with you. Even you try to go and hide in a jungle, the same kind of difficulties going to be with you. So that's why just escape doesn't make any sense. And try to let it be, appreciate it, say thank you for all the difficulties and all the miseries and all the nasty things happening around you, all the unhappy things happening around you. Say thank you, let it be. It is good for you. So then what you have to do? And get into self-discipline. And once you have the self-discipline and start to recognize little by little deeper yourself, how to maintain your eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, mind, and without feeding too much to it. And that deeper understanding, little by little, will make you more lighter, clear person. When you become lighter, clear, when you become more comfortable, naturally, there are a lot of things start to move away from without any effort from you. It's like when the fruit is ready to leave the tree, no one in the middle and try to pick it, need to pick it. It naturally start to release. So like that, don't try to throw things away, don't try to go away from things. And naturally, there is a day come for you, you will say, this is the moment you have to move. So that it will naturally happen, but you need the certain understanding. So get into that understanding, so get into the self-discipline, and with that self-discipline and develop a fulfillment inside you, and that fulfillment and slowly make you complete. That completion itself will give you the understanding regarding just your inner self. When the day come for you, how these things happening inside you, you will know how this everything happening, this entire universe. Like that your inhalation, exhalation can take you out from this entire sansaric journey. Why? Because this inhalation, exhalation is the bound to your desire. So try little by little. It takes time, but it's the beautiful journey if you have the right purpose to go with it. And on the way, I hope that you will enjoy this all, and you will experience certain things yourself. So with this good practice, I wish upon everyone, may all of you be well, happy and peaceful. May no harm come to you, may no difficulties come to you, may no problems come to you. May you also have the patience, courage, understanding and determination to meet and overcome inevitable difficulties in your life. May everyone stay healthy and safe, and finally, may all of you attain supreme bliss of Nibbana. Sabbhitiyo vajjantu sabbarogo vinassatu mate bhavatantarayo sukhi digayuko bhava. Ettavata ca ammehi sampadam punya sampadam sabbe deva anumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya sabbe bhuta anumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya sabbe satta anumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya. Idamme punya kammang asavakkaya vahang hotu sabba dukkha pamuncatu. Bless you.